welcome again to North Central Journal. I'm Scott May. And for this segment of the show, we're going to go back in time a little bit. We're going to revisit Dress a Girl Around the World, a subject and an interview that we conducted just over a year ago. And we thought it would be a good time to update the folks on what the Gardner division of Dress a Girl is up to these days. And joining us, Claudia Ewing and Patty Stone from Dress a Girl. Joining us again because you were with us last year when we first talked about Dress a Girl Around the World and the Gardner division. So let's start with just telling people what Dress a Girl is. Either one of you, it's okay.
Dress a Girl Around the World is an organization that makes dresses for girls in need around the world. In this country, in homeless shelters, in poverty-stricken areas such as Appalachia, and in third world countries all throughout Africa, Haiti, and a lot of help has been passed on to Ukrainian children as well since the war began. So it's basically for girls to help them feel good and important.
Now, we were talking off camera before we started the interview, and Dress a Girl is for girls, but there is an element for young boys as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. When the dresses were going over to some of the foreign countries, Africa, for instance, there were always a gathering of children, boys and girls, and all the little girls were getting their lovely, brightly colored dresses, and the little boys were getting nothing. The looks on their faces were so sad, and they were bedraggled in their raggedy clothes. So the women in the groups here in this country decided, let's just make some shorts. We've got lots of fabric. Shorts don't take a lot. We're going to make shorts and send shorts for these little boys. And so really that's all it is. It's not called for, but we do it just because we like to see their happy little faces as well.
There's a need there as well.
Yes.
Yeah. It's taking care of kids, both boys and girls.
Mm-hmm. Correct. It is.
You have a dress, Claudia, that you're holding on to. Let's take a look at that and talk a little bit about the pattern, the design, and is it the same design for all the organizations in Dress a Girl?
Well, it is not. There are 3 or 4 basic designs that we all follow, but different groups across the country tend to like a few different styles. And this particular style with the ruffled shoulders is one that we're very partial to in the Gardner division. There's another design that has ties at the shoulders, and it's called the pillowcase dress. And it's a very straight dress. This is an A-line dress, and maybe that's visible. When I hold that up, you can see that. And the other important thing is every dress has to have pockets. These little girls do not have many personal belongings, but they don't have anywhere to call them, a place to call them their own. And so it's real important that they have pockets so they can put that 1 or 2 special things in. It might be a rock, it might be a salamander, but it's theirs and it's in their pocket. So the dresses are designed to be loose fitting, 1, because it's so hot, and 2, they're designed to not call attention to a girl's shape.
Well, Patty, what we were talking also off camera before we begin, what goes into those pockets when the dresses are sent out?
So women who don't sew, or with donations that they get, they buy underwear in appropriate sizes to fit the dresses. Each dress is sized when they send them off. And in the pocket, they will tuck a nice little pair of underwear so that when the girl gets it, it's a complete outfit. And it's a way for women who don't sew to share also and be part of this project, which is a great thing. So that's what they do.
We talked when we first did the interview last year about the passion that you both have for this. it's a year and a few months later. The gardening division started in, was it March of 2022?
Yes.
It was March of 2022
Yes.
when you and Mary, who was the other trio, the three of you kind of got it going in Gardner.
Yes.
What's happened since March of 2022? Get us to today and how the gardening division has blossomed.
Well, Patty, Mary, and myself started sewing in my kitchen in March of 22, and we stitched up 75 dresses approximately. And when we had that many dresses, we took all of our dresses to Mary's house. We lined them up on hangers all over her kitchen and photographed them. And then we shipped them to Bridgewater. And at this point in time, it was early May. We had been in contact with the Bridgewater ladies, so we knew where to send them. We knew what we needed to do to get everything correct according to their specifications, and we shipped off our first amount of dresses for 75, and the three of us were elated. It was a lot of fun. We had great fun doing that, and Patty and Mary and myself, we all have friends that sew, and some of our friends knew what we were doing, and they questioned us about it. So the three of us put our heads together and thought, we ought to offer an opportunity for these women that would like to sew with us to come once a month and sew, and the Bridgewater ladies kind of guided us for doing that.
And Bridgewater is the headquarters in the state for Dress a Girl.
Yes,
with
it
different
is.
divisions around the state. So when you refer to
Yes.
Bridgewater, different divisions such as Gardner are sending whatever they're making to Bridgewater to be shipped out for wherever locations are targeted, correct?
They get the requests for 100 dresses, 200 dresses, whatever they need, and then they distribute. So they're sort of the distribution area.
Yes. Now, Claudia, back to what you were saying. I interrupted you, but you had this epiphany to try and get other people involved in what you're doing, and is it still a monthly get-together for sewing and explaining the program?
It is. We meet the third Monday of every month at the Stevens Memorial Library in the upstairs community room.
That's in Ashburnham.
Yes. I forgot to say that. And
I'm with you. I'll cover you.
okay. It's a big room, brightly lit, lots of big windows, so we get a lot of natural light, but there's good artificial lighting in there as well. And the people at the library set up tables and chairs for us. We go in, and everybody sews. We have a great time. We bring fabrics and other sewing supplies. Patty and Mary and I have a lot of supplies at our homes, and so the three of us bring things every month. Our car is kind of laden, and Patty and I have invested in those soft-sided wagons. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with those now. And so we fill up our wagons and we drag them in from our cars up the elevator and spread out fabrics and all kinds of notions. And people can choose some of those fabrics. We have patterns, and we have kits all made up as well. So some of the women that don't sew will just create kits, and other women will do ironing, processing the pockets. So you could have somebody doing pockets and just stitching the labels onto the pockets. And so there are different jobs for different people depending on how many people attend an open sew.
No, you call it an open sew. You started those last year in July or August, as I recall. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your first open sew?
We had our first open sew the end of June.
End of June, okay.
Yes, so we had our first one when we met with you in July.
Okay. So how is it growing? What has been the response to the gardening division?
Well, the response has been good. We've had a number of women join us. But it doesn't seem to be a sustained thing. People are busy. They don't have time. We have a few women who will sew at home and come and socialize in our open sews and bring us their completed dresses, which is wonderful. I think the biggest need we have right now is consistent sewers, to find women who consistently would like to produce these dresses. And again, we can supply a lot of the materials they need. We just need the effort, the sewing. And that's probably our biggest need right now. Total, I think we've had over 22 women join us to help us in one way or another. And sometimes it's in a non-sewing capacity, but any help is appreciated.
Now we're going to talk about how people can get involved and where they can go to contact you or how to contact you. But you were talking about the need for active members. There are other needs. You don't have funding. This is all, a lot of it's out of your own pockets, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So if people want to donate, whether it's money to help for shipping, fabric, how do they go about doing that? And I'm sure those are a couple of things that you'd appreciate people coming to you with. How would they go about doing that?
Absolutely. We contact a lot of people through Facebook every month, and we have put out a lot of requests when people have asked us. Friends, for instance, have just said, this is a great mission and I'm going to donate $50, or here's a gift card for fabric and things, go and pick up whatever you want, that kind of thing. And that is fabulous. And that's all it takes, is just contact any one of the three of us, and we can, we're more than happy to have a donation or have your help. Anybody is welcome to come and see us that third Monday of the month, see what we do. Even if you don't have the talent to sew, but you just want to see what we do, and just come and visit us between 10 and 12, the third Monday of the month. We would love to have people see us, and then the word gets out that way too. We have had a couple of visitors just pop in, which has been great. I've really enjoyed that.
Now, do you still have the Gmail account? dressergirlgardner@gmail.com?
Yes.
dressergirlgardner@gmail.com
I believe
is a
so.
way to get in touch.
Yep.
Okay. Facebook, people can contact you and also keep up with you on Facebook.
Yes.
Yep. And I think the Facebook account is used more than the other one. We send out Gmails as a general thing, but
Right.
I've had very few people contact us that way, but the Facebook seems to be more of a way to contact us also.
Yeah.
So are you both happy with where you are today with Dresser Girl and with the Gardner chapter? You happy with things and still want to drive it forward and keep it going?
Absolutely want to
Yeah.
drive it forward. I love this. I love this mission. I love doing this. I would really love to see more women sewing.
Yeah.
And, you know, Patty and I were talking about this last night. The mission of Dresser Girl is to empower women, to give women a sense of purpose and need, and to protect women as well. And that's one of the reasons why the label is put on the pockets. That is a protectant for young women in third world countries against trafficking, which is such a huge issue. But also our personal mission, Mary, Patty, and I, we want to do this to empower women around us. Because when you're a woman that has worked all your life and now you're retired and you don't have a focus and you do have a gift of sewing, this can empower you as a woman with time on your hands and the gift to be able to help other women as well. And so we find that is a real important part of what we do, is just to empower the women around us and to say, yes, you can do this. This is simple. And some of the women that have come to us have said, I don't think I can do that. And then they can, and they feel great. And that is part of what our local group wants to do, is welcome women in. And if you haven't sewed before, we will teach you. Something has changed at the library for us, which is very new. I recently moved, and I had a lot of sewing machines. I donated 3 of my sewing machines to the library. They are housed at the library for use that anybody can take out to use at home, but they can also use them on our Dress-A-Girl days. If you don't have a machine, or if your machine is a console and you can't pick it up, it's too heavy, we have entry-level machines at the library now. So that is a real bonus that we did not have up until the present time.
Dress-A-Girl Around the World, the Gardner Division. Patty Stone and Claudia Ewing, thank you again for being with us. And I guess we can conclude by saying the sew must go on. Dress-A-Girl Around the World. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We really appreciate it, Scott.
Hello and welcome again to North Central Journal. I'm Scott May, and joining us for this segment of the show, Brandon Robbins, the Executive Director of Ginny's Helping Hand for a year and a half now. Started last year, and you've been in it for about 18 months, and my first question is, in that 18 months, what are some of the highlights that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, first of all, Scott, thanks for having me back again. I remember I was here about a year ago at this point, and I was just starting the role. And like you said, I've kind of been there for a year and a half now, or coming up on that. And it's been a great experience. You know, I was with Ginny's for a long time beforehand, as I mentioned the last time I was here. And just, it's been such an exciting experience now being kind of leading the organization. We've seen a lot of growth at the organization that I'll talk about, you know, as the questions go on. But, you know, I'm really excited to continue leading it, and we've got some exciting stuff coming too. So be excited to talk about that as well.
Yeah, well, Ginny started 45 years ago, Ginny White, and originally to provide clothing and help for people in need. But in that 45-year period, how has Ginny's evolved?
Yeah, so this is our 45th year, which is really exciting. And it's changed and stayed the same a lot too. I would say it's changed in the sense that it's grown into a huge organization. So when you talk about she started the organization to provide clothes, when she switched over to food, she started serving 12 families a month. I can tell you now we are significantly more than 12 families a month. We served 1,000, almost 1,200 families last month. Wow. Which is some significant growth. In addition to that, during that time, you know, during that 45 years, we started providing access to holiday baskets, which we'll also be talking about later. And, you know, we run the thrift store. You know, the thrift store has seen some various phases. Ginny started with just clothes. We added at one point household goods. We have since gone back to just clothes because of space and capacity. But a lot of it is the same, and it really gets down to what Ginny started 45 years ago, of providing people a hand up in our region. And that's exactly what we're doing to this day.
You said a hand up, not a handout is the motto, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's all about providing people that little bit of assistance they need. And we see that that's exactly what we're there doing. You know, some people come in, get help from us for a couple of months, and we never see them again because we provided them with exactly that little bit of a hand up they needed to get by.
Now, we talked about the food pantry a bit and providing groceries, and one question I had was, how does someone become a part of that program?
Yeah, it's actually a really simple process. Our partner at the Worcester County Food Bank kind of sets the guidelines for it. It is based off the USDA's income guidelines, but all of the information that we ask for is self-reported. So if you are in need, please come in. give us a call. We're happy to walk you through the process, but really all it is walk in our doors. We're there Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 4. Our food pantry is open all that time. Come in, we'll get you signed up, and you'll be leaving with food.
Now, just a few weeks ago, Leominster had devastating flash flooding with tremendous damage to roads, to homes. People were left homeless for a while until things were repaired and they could get back into their homes. And I wondered what the impact was on Ginny's. What specifically did you guys do to step into that and help out?
Yeah, the flooding on the 11th was something that I've never seen in my lifetime and really hope that I never see again in my lifetime. When the flooding was occurring, I personally actually got a phone call from one of the volunteers at OEM who was setting up one of the shelters in Leominster saying, like, we need food, we need blankets, and we need help getting this thing going. So actually on that night, I got into my car and went down to first to Ginny's and grabbed the supplies I needed, food, blankets, some dry clothing for people. And then I went over to Francis Drake and helped set up the shelter. So that's kind of the first step of how Ginny's got involved. Once everything had kind of got calm at the shelter, as much as calm it could be, I realized that, and I got some sleep because I was there until about 2 o'clock in the morning, I realized that somebody was going to need to step up to then facilitate some of the more long-term donations that people were going to need, because you're right, people lost everything.
Yeah.
And then at that point, we just put out a post on social media saying we'll take clothes, we'll take linens, blankets, pillows, all of that stuff in for the flood victims. And I can tell you the community support has been amazing. People who were impacted themselves, but maybe not as bad as some of these other people, have been coming in, bringing donations, bringing food, bringing personal hygiene products to get them into the to people's hands who need them. I really want to stress the resources that we have at Ginny's. We have always been really grateful of our partners and our community support, but right now it's so through the roof. So if there are people out there who are affected and in need, please come in and access these resources. We have them. We have the food. We have the clothes. We have the blankets. We have the pillows. Come and get them from us. So, you know, I know a lot of the time pride sometimes gets in the way, and, you know, kind of the thought of, oh, somebody else must have it worse. But this is what we're there doing, and in this time of emergency, we want to make sure people are accessing it.
And that's what you're there for.
That's exactly what we're there for.
Now, talk about partners. You mentioned the word partners. Shed a little light on that.
Ginny's is so lucky. Like you said, we've been there for 45 years. Yeah. We have so many amazing partners, and we value what partners do to get the work done. I strongly believe that, you know, Ginny's is a great organization. We have a lot of root in the community, but we couldn't do what we do without the great partners that we have. That goes for the Worcester County Food Bank. That goes for all of the grocery stores who donate their food to us. We have two Shaws, Target, BJ's, Hannaford. That goes for all of the people in the community who send us donations, who drop us food. That also goes for all of the other nonprofits in the region. We work really closely with them. We work really closely with the city of Leominster. We work really closely with the city of Fitchburg. It's important so that people know if they go into the Spanish American Center or they go into City Hall and can't get the help that they need there, that they can be referred to us and we can provide them with the assistance that they're looking for.
Now talk about staff, people that are helping at Ginny's, volunteering, coming in and just putting in the time and the effort. Let's touch on that a little bit too.
Yeah, I guess I'll start on the staff piece. I am eternally grateful for the amazing staff that I have. We have an incredibly small staff that works harder than any other staff that I've ever worked with. In the nonprofit field, you have to love what you do. You're not going to get rich doing it, but you have to love what you do. And I know these people love what they do, and they come to work every day ready to help people in need. In addition to those people, though, we could not do what we do without the countless volunteers who step up every single day, who give their free time that they could very easily be doing something else. We all know that we're busy and that there are many other priorities they could probably be working on. But they come in religiously every week, every month, whatever their schedule is, and give their free time to make sure that we're able to provide the support that we need for the community. We have probably somewhere between 10 and 20 regular volunteers right now, but we're always looking to add to that, you know, and that's how the work gets done.
Sure, yeah. And we're at that time of year again. Food baskets, holiday food baskets. Let's touch on that subject and talk about that a little bit.
This is always a really exciting time of year for Ginny's. First of all, it's an incredibly busy time of year. It's the quote-unquote giving season.
Yep.
So everybody gets in the giving mood and the food drives start and the coat drives start. So always exciting for us because that means we get to restock our food pantry shelves, restock our clothing shelves for people in need. But it's also a really good time where people like to get involved. So our food basket programs are probably two of the biggest things that we run every single year. Our clients sign up. Actually, we're going to start that right in October, and then people, you know, sign up, and then we put together baskets for. It's probably going to be close to 500 families for both holidays, so a total of 1,000 families. Yeah. For a great holiday meal. It contains everything they need from the turkey all the way down to the rolls, stuffing, butter, all that good stuff. All the stuff that clearly I love.
Me too.
But really, you know, gives them the ability to provide a good meal for their family. So we're excited to get that going and get those out in the community.
Now let's talk specifically about days of week and hours of operation.
Yeah, so Ginny's is open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturdays 9 to 4. We like to make sure that people who work the normal 9 to 5 schedule but might need an extra little hand up are able to access our services as well. Thrift store, food pantry are both open those same hours.
For more information.
A couple of ways. First of all, our Facebook is really active, Ginny's Helping Hand, right on Facebook. Our Instagram, same thing. Our website, jinnyshelpinghand.org, has tons of information on all of our programs, thrift store, food pantry, holiday baskets, and then give us a call too, 978-537-1387. Always happy to answer questions as well.
Last but not least, what's ahead in 2024?
Keep an eye on our Facebook page. We're getting ready and planning our first annual fundraiser for a really long time. We're looking at having that, or it is scheduled for February of next year. So keep an eye out. It's going to be really exciting. I think it's going to be fun for the community, and we want to make sure it's full so that we can really show our support for Ginny's.
A hand up, not a handout. Brandon Robbins, great to have you here again. Ginny's Helping Hand, and we look forward to the continued success and your continued involvement, and we'll do this again.
Thank you so much for having me again.